The mental health crisis in America finds its way on OW campus. We have the first part of our series speak on mental health, the woman on campus everyone should know if you want a job after graduation. The upcoming holidays highlights our community's poverty issue, and a new food pantry on campus is trying to help. OW's dry campus policy. Does prohibition on alcohol work? And finally, the joke's on you, we have a fun game of trivia. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. I'm Saborne Judge.
And I'm Stefan Izzo. We start first with some breaking national news. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, could possibly face jail time after his 4-year term in office. This comes after his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, pled guilty in the Mueller investigation to making illegal payments to a porn star and a Playboy bunny during the Trump's campaign in 2016. Both women claimed to have had sexual affairs with the president before the start of his campaign. President Trump has denied the affairs and has not been charged with any crimes related to the payments, although he admits they were paid on his behalf. Cohen pled guilty back in August to 8 federal crimes, which included tax fraud, making false statements to a bank, and campaign finance violations, including the hush money payments made to the 2 women. California Democratic Representative Adam Schiff believes that Trump could face the real prospect of jail time once his presidency is over. If it can be proven, he ordered Cohen to make the payments. Saborne?
The Democratic Party has been on pins and needles about the future of Planned Parenthood funding, as well as the future of Supreme Court ruling on Roe v. Wade. On December 9th, a Supreme Court ruling came down siding with Planned Parenthood. The ruling stated terminating Medicaid contracts with Planned Parenthood organizations would be breaking federal law. The ruling was also shocking since recently appointed and conservative Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh sided with the liberals on the ruling. Stefan?
NASA's InSight mission touched down on the Mars this past Saturday to start the study of the red planet's deep secrets. In the months ahead, InSight will begin its study, listening for tremors, Marsquakes, and hopes to collect insightful data that will be pieced together in a map of the interior of the red planet. Once the mission's managers have confirmed the health of the spacecraft and can rely on the robotic arm to work, the mission could officially begin. InSight's primary mission on the surface is to last nearly 2 years on the planet while still being effective. Saborne?
As of Monday morning, nearly 150,000 homes in North Carolina are without power due to the record-breaking southeast snowstorm. The storm also brought dangerous ice and sleet made for dangerous conditions throughout the majority of the state. It's reported that there was 1 death that occurred in result of the storm. Over 500 flights have been canceled. For anyone seeking help, contact your local officials. And now for campus news. As the semester comes to an end, Old West students are stressing out over finals. The library study rooms are filled to capacity from opening to closing. Students say they are also seeking any extra credit professors are willing to give them to boost their grades. The Owtv crew are sending positive vibes your way during this time. We have only 2 weeks left. Finish strong and enjoy your break. Stefan?
SUNY Old Westbury and Roosevelt school districts have started to promote increased college attendance of their students through a new Scholars Academy. The SUNY College at Old Westbury and the Roosevelt Union Free School District have both announced a new Scholars Academy, which is a cohort-based learning community. It is designed to promote a more enhanced college culture across the school district. The Scholars Academy begins this year with 25 ninth grade students. The design of the Scholars Academy uses formative career paths to assist students in exploring and orienting to political career paths as they develop skills and advance their college credit attainment. The Academy experience will also include monthly workshops and seminars offered by the college to educate families and the Roosevelt community about the college admissions process and other higher education issues. Saborne?
As many as 40% of students nationwide say they have experienced mental health issues like anxiety. Crystal Garces brings us our first look at OW students who bravely share their personal struggle in our series, Speak Up on Mental Health.
Hi, this is Crystal Garces with Owtv News. This year, I'm doing a series on mental health awareness on the Old Westbury campus called Speak Up on Mental Health.
When I was about 16, 17, I was diagnosed as being depressed.
Students like Marilee who struggle with a mental health condition find the college experience even more difficult or stressful.
I usually never have a bad attitude, so when I see or realize that I'm lashing out at people or being rude to like my family members or my boyfriend, then I can kind of put it together that I'm stressed out about schoolwork or a pending assignment.
Professor Cooper from the psychology department at Old Westbury shares some of the changes that one may experience when dealing with a mental health issue.
Some signs that a student may see if they are experiencing some sort of mental health concern would be changes from their regular daily routine, so changes in the way they sleep, either too much or too little suddenly happening, starting to drop the ball on things.
Many Americans experiencing a mental health condition don't seek help. 1 in 5 or 9 million adults reported having an unmet mental health need.
I've been very open about it with my teachers because I feel like if they understand what's going on, like if I miss an assignment or if I'm absent, that they can have some sort of compassion for what I'm going through or what's going on. And I have had good feedback from teachers.
Besides teachers, the college offers other help.
So your two primary services provided by Old Westbury for students having difficulties would be OSSD or the Counseling Center. These are already included in your student fees. There's no additional fee for doing these things. At the Counseling Center, you could receive weekly therapy. At OSSD, the amount you would be checking in there depends on what your needs are, and they're happy to work with you on that. But this is all available to you, and it is already included in the student fees you're already paying.
Marilee has advice for other college students suffering in silence.
Knowing that everything is, like nothing is permanent, so if that test is making you uncomfortable, making you anxious, you'll get through that. Eventually, the semester that feels like it's never going to end, it will end. So remaining present and just focused on your goal.
Crystal Garces with Owtv News.
Your job after graduation may just be located on the second floor of the campus center and our Student Success Career Center. If you don't know Geraldine Marinin, director of the Career Center, you might be missing out on your dream job.
The Career Center, located on the second floor of the Campus Center, is a destination every student should know for life after Old Westbury, and there's one lady in charge.
My name is Geraldine Marinin. I'm the Director of Career Planning and Development, and in March of 2019, I will be here 6 years.
What are some things the Career Center offers?
So most of the students come in here seeking help with their resume. A lot of times they're getting ready for graduation, they're looking for jobs and internships, so we want to make sure that that document's really strong representation of them as young professionals. We also have a lot of students that come in here that are unsure about their major and what they want to study, so we have conversations with them and we can offer them assessments to help them figure out what the best course of study is for them.
Ms. Marin is proud of some of the success she's helped students find.
One in particular is a young man I met my first year here. He was a student athlete, and from his sophomore year he wanted to become a physician's assistant. He was a regular in my office, would come in for resume updates. We would always talk about his classes and what he was doing. He went through the process of becoming a volunteer firefighter and EMT and things like that. We did his whole physician assistant application together in the office, and one of the best emails I ever got was him telling me that he had gotten accepted, and he's a year and a half into his PA program now.
Students who visit the Career Center say the resources the center offers and Geraldine's kind spirit are needed encouragement.
Absolutely. She actually helped me with my resume, my cover letter, as well as like the other counselors as well. I actually have attended some of her events, like for example, her etiquette dinner that she holds in the spring. I think it's very essential to have it because not only does it help you with like your development, your own personal development, but also professional, and also it could pretty much tap into like you getting involved on campus and like developing those skills, those transferable skills that you'll need in the future to help with like your career and like life in general.
Ms. Marin says students tend to shy away from getting help, but the services they offer are covered by their tuition.
I think sometimes it could be a little intimidating. I think sometimes students can be afraid of the future or the real world and what's to come when they're done with college. The reality is you've been getting up and going to school for your whole life, so what happens when that's over? And we don't want students to be intimidated by coming in here. It's a really friendly environment. We're very relaxed. We're here to help. So we want students to just get in the door first, and then we'll help them, whatever way possible.
So plan a visit in spring 2019 for the first step towards your future.
So the spring semester, we always host our spring career fair. It's on April 17th. It's a Wednesday during Common Hour in the Student Union NPRs. We also have some employer and residence programs that we're working on setting up right now, where different employers come in and provide information about their companies and positions available as well. And at the end of the semester, I help run a program called PACE, the Path to Academic and Career Excellence, along with the School of Arts and Sciences and the first year experience. And at the end of the semester, we try to get everybody together for a de-stress day to kind of relax and get ready for finals, and just kind of hang out and wind down.
What students should be sure of is there's someone here on campus who really cares about your future.
Been here for almost 6 years now. The one thing that I love most about my job is working with the students, hearing about their successes, helping them through their struggles. The other thing I really love is I never have the same day twice. There's always something different happening, someone new walking through the door, and I really enjoy being here and seeing our students move forward and become successful professionals.
A new study at Temple University finds that 36% of college students do not have enough to eat. Brandon Johnson looks at what Old Westbury is doing to feed more than just the student minds.
For the first time in college history, Old Westbury recently broke ground on a new food pantry located on the 3rd floor of the Student Union. The goal is to feed students who would otherwise be hungry.
We started the food pantry because anecdotally, the staff and the faculty realized that students, many students, did not necessarily have enough food. They were hungry in class. I've had students in my class to say, they couldn't buy lunch because they had to buy their bus ticket to get here. So if you're making those sorts of choices, that's food insecurity.
Christina Notaro, Assistant Dean of School for Arts and Science, was heavily involved in the startup and says a student survey showed the need for a pantry on campus.
We did a survey which showed about 30 to 40% of the respondents indicated some sort of food insecurity. So to us, it was a clear picture.
The food pantry offers basic food items like soup, pasta, cereal, snacks, and even cake. It's open to students twice a week to deal with the issue of food insecurity on campus.
I feel like it's really nice that they have a place where students can go and get free little snacks and food for their dorms where they can eat.
First year experienced Associate Director Bonnie Ione, who is running a food drive in the department to help the pantry, thinks that the country doesn't do enough to address poverty.
Do we think about poverty enough as a nation? I want to say no. A lot of people kind of pass the responsibility off. I don't think necessarily that the systems that are put in place by our government address those needs.
What has been the overall response been from students and staff?
It gives all students an opportunity to get something to eat. If you don't have any money or you don't have any money on your food card, you can come here.
SUNY Old Westbury Food Pantry is available during the week, and there are many ways in which students and staff can donate.
The food pantry is open on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 12 to 3:30. It's in the Student Union. You can just walk in, it's no appointment. If you have food, you can just bring it there during those hours. If anyone wants to be involved, and there's information on our website about food that we're looking for and how to run a food drive. If they still not sure, they can always contact me directly and I can help them.
Now to Alika Noble with the latest in entertainment news. Alika?
Rapper Ty Dolla $ign has been indicted on drug charges including felony possession of cocaine. The charges stem from a car search in Atlanta back in 2018. He reportedly has 3 counts, which include felony possession of cocaine, felony possession of THC, and a misdemeanor for the possession of less than 1 ounce of weed. He is currently facing up to 15 years in prison. The 2019 Grammy nominations are in. Kendrick Lamar has 8 nominations. It gives him the most nominations this year. And right behind him with 7 nominations is the 6 god Drake. Other artists such as Lady Gaga, Cardi B, Her, Childish Gambino all have 5 nominations each. Major artists like the Carters, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, J. Cole, and more have submitted songs for a category and have been denied. Many fans and even artists feel that they are being overlooked and their projects this year should receive recognition. Rapper 2 Milli is suing Epic Games for stealing his Milli Rock dance in their Fortnite video. The Brooklyn rapper created this dance in 2014 and has been known for it ever since. He filed his lawsuit in a California district court last Wednesday. He is suing the company for misappropriation, use and sale, and for his well-known dance in their Fortnite games. 2 Milli's representative claims that this is not the first time the company is misappropriating the likeness of African American talent. That's entertainment. Back to you, Stefan.
Thanks, Alika. The existing non-alcohol policy on Old Westbury campus is very often a subject of frustration for students. Judith Amaro gives us both sides, on to drink or not to drink.
Old Westbury has a dry campus policy that prevents students, staff, and faculty from consuming alcohol even if they are the legal age of 21.
I feel like it's not fair to us at times. If we're over 21 and we're paying to be on this campus, then we should be allowed to do what we do as long as we're being safe about it.
I feel like it's unfair just because if you're 21 and you can drink, why not? I feel like many students are getting kicked out of campus because they're drinking, and they are, like, if you're 21, you're supposed to be allowed to drink.
But according to the Dean of Students, Claudia Andrade, Old Westbury did not always have such a strong non-alcohol policy.
While it seems like an anomaly for students, it's not. And many universities and colleges in the U.S. have no alcohol. There was a correlation between the time that Dr. Butts came in as the president of the university and the change in policy. And that was during a time where SUNY Old Westbury was experiencing very high volumes of life-threatening incidents due to alcohol.
According to a Harvard study on campuses that have dry policies, students are 30% less likely to engage in heavy drinking. But the truth is, policy or not, college students, whether legal or not, drink.
We can't make believe that drinking isn't happening. We're very aware. We're also not going to make it a no tolerance, zero alcohol policy where you're automatically dismissed or suspended from the university.
Statistics show that 60% of college students admit to drinking and 80% have at least had one drink. But not all students think the non-alcohol policy is a bad idea.
I feel like it's a good policy in a sense because it's keeping all students in like a safety, because some people are not comfortable with students that drink, or they're not really like drinkers or are comfortable around people who are intoxicated.
But he is rare. In an unofficial poll, the majority of Old West students would like to see the policy end for those over the age of 21. Will these results bring a change to the strict policy?
In the 95 days that I've been here as Dean of Students, I can tell you that I don't foresee any movement.
For now, there's no budging from the administration, and the school's alcohol policy will stay in place. Judith Amaro, Owtv News.
Now in sports, Brandon Johnson is with us to discuss the latest on pros and on-campus sports. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Saborne. We got some exciting news in our local teams. The New York Giants won against the Washington Redskins by a wide margin score of 40-16. No Odell, so it was no problem as Saquon Barkley played great. He rushed for 170 yards and a touchdown as he broke the Giants' rookie rushing record for 1,000 yards. Eli Manning also had a good performance, throwing for 197 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Giants' defense was special. They committed 3 turnovers. Big Blue has won 4 of their last 5 games. As for the Knicks, they were in action against the Hornets at the Garden, and they lost 119-107 as Bronx' very own Kemba Walker scored 25 and dished out 6 assists. Rookie Kevin Knox led the team with 26 points as New York was no match for Charlotte's efficient offense. The Knicks fall to 8-20 on the season. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak. The Panthers for Old Westbury, the men's took action as they lost to Mount St. Mary College Knights Saturday at the Kaplan Center. Old Westbury had 4 players in double-digit scoring, but it wasn't enough. The Knights outscored the Panthers in the second half to pull away the win as they lost 81-76. The Panthers are playing back home on Ugly Sweater Day, Saturday, December 15th at the Clark Athletic Center at 2 p.m. The Lady Panthers were on a 7-game winning streak until they lost to the Mount St. Mary Knights in a rematch from last year's Skyline Championship. Alexis Lopez led the Lady Panthers with 15 and tied a career high in three-pointers as they went up 29-27 in the first half. The second half was a total opposite when the Knights outscored the Old Westbury Panthers in the third 21-10, going on a 19-8 run and never looked back. But it was a little too late, and the Lady Panthers lost 62-52. Their next game is against the Lehman College Lightning on the road, Tuesday, December 11th at 7 p.m. in the Apex Arena in the Bronx. That's it for sports. Back to you, Suborne.
Thanks, Brandon. And now for some fun. As students deal with stress of finals in the upcoming holidays, Alika Noble has students laugh out loud with the game of trivia.
How smart are the Old Westbury students? I hit the Old Westbury campus to see if they can answer my trivia questions.
Hi guys, what's your name?
Tonya.
Hi, I'm Missy. Okay, and I have a few questions to ask. It's like trivia questions, okay? So let me see if you can get it right. What are 2 things that you can never eat for breakfast?
You can't eat cake and you can't eat ribs.
You can't eat cake for sure. And you can't eat Chinese food.
French toast. Anything greasy.
I don't even like breakfast like that. So oatmeal.
Ice cream and cake.
Chocolate fudge cake.
2 things I can never eat for breakfast. Lunch and dinner.
You're doing great, yes. If a plane crashes on the border between the United States and Canada, where do they bury the survivors?
On the border.
Canada.
In the middle.
You don't bury survivors because they're alive.
What word would you use to describe a man who does not have all his fingers on one hand?
He doesn't have all his fingers.
Amputee. Amputee.
Fingerless.
I was gonna say a useless man. He's normal because you can't have all fingers on one hand. What will you actually find at the end of every rainbow?
A pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
Gold?
You want to know the answer to it? A W. Rainbow.
This is Alika Noble with OWTV News.
That's our show for today. I'm Suborne Judge.
And I'm Stefan Izzo from our Old Westbury News team.
Happy holidays and have a great winter break.